right. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Craps. John here with Pro Craps. Good show today. I'm going to be rolling out some stuff with the 4 and the 10, the Waylon strategy. Waylon is kind of cool. He's making his way around the internet right now. So every crap show is kind of running. So, hey, Waylon, how you doing, man? Everybody's running some version of your 4-10 strategy. I want to break it down today a little bit. I might run it side by side. We're going to see. I've got a couple of thoughts on this, and I'll share with you sort of what I know about the strategy. And before I go to the table, Waylon, you can correct me where and if I'm wrong as we go through this thing. But the plan is to kind of look at the 4 and 10. I'm still going to do the back wall lay. Last night I was practicing the 4-10 stuff, and I hit 5 come out 7s in a row during practice, which I've never done live with you all, but it was like, man, if I was playing this, that would have been beautiful. Anyway, we're going to do 4 and 10 today, and it's going to give us a chance to look at house edge a little bit too. So Greg, I'm glad you're here. This is kind of right up your alley. This will, when you see the house edge kind of at work, like with chips, it's kind of gross. But you'll get a sense of what it feels like to have your money just bled from you from the casinos. But yeah, 4 and 10 play today. I'm always going to do the back wall lay. I'm thinking about a way, Waylon, to kind of alter the strategy or maybe roll it in with the horsemen somehow, because I don't love the initial, like, that much exposure on the 4 and 10 against the 7. It's just too strong of a number, and I'm trying to find ways to kind of mitigate that to some degree. So I may or may not play that today, but we'll see. Yeah, Waylon is like, we all have to get like Waylon hats, Dice are out. We should get like hats made or shirts or something that say I go Waylon or Team Waylon or something like that. It'd be great. Anyway, I put 2 things out yesterday that I want to cover before we go to the table. One is going to be the 10-hour video that I put out, which I got a couple like, what the hell is that things. The 10-hour video that I did, let me switch to my screenshot. I'll show you what I did here. We go to my videos here. There's this video called White Noise. And what I literally did here was it's my logo and a craps table and casino white noise. It's like me rolling the dice and me playing with chips. Because I'm a white noise person. When I go to sleep, I put like thunder clouds or whatever in the background so I can fall asleep. And when I'm in my office working all day, I usually have some kind of white noise going while I'm working. And I thought, why not do craps noises instead of weather noises? And that's what this video was. So it's 10 hours of like a craps table and some chips flying around. So if you're into the white noise thing, that's what it's here for. It's going to play for 10 straight hours. So yeah, I wouldn't expect you to learn anything from this. It's just literally this there to be white noise. So that's kind of fun. The other thing that I did last night or yesterday was I put out this survey, and hopefully you can see the survey here on my screen. And the survey asks you 2 questions. One is, for this show, what's the ideal length? I was watching some early episodes the other day, and most of them are about 25 minutes or so. I was new to the channel, new to the whole thing. I was going pretty fast. I don't know, I got enough depth covered. Nowadays, I'm going more towards an hour, it seems like, because there's so much to say, and I'm going really slow with the dice influencing part of it, at least. So I wanted to know what you all thought was the ideal length for you, and it looks like about a half an hour seems to be the winner. It's either like half an hour or go as long as it can. There wasn't a whole lot of support for these mid-range like targets. 20 minutes or so, there's 20% if you want 20 minutes. So I'm going to try and keep it to about 30 to a little bit less, and if it goes longer, it will. And that's going to be sort of my target here. I'm going to try for half an hour. Today might go a little long because of what I have to say about the 4 and 10. So good morning. I see that Zaf is here and Derek is here and Masilo is here. Good to see you all. Brian, hi. Next question I asked you was, what do you want me to do in the morning shows? I've been trying to kind of just practice and just flick it on and do live practice, but that seems to be kind of boring. So it looks like what we want to see is roll and bet like I'm actually at the casino. So do my actual strategies. Yet also we want to see some more strategy building, which we'll do today, and also running people's other strategies. This is more like the strategy testing thing. This is more what Color Up does, right? He runs your strategies and doesn't offer any critique, just runs them. Technically, this is kind of what Greg does, right? Greg does this thing too, where he'll critique your strategy and then roll it out. I'm going to try and do a hybrid because I don't want to really step onto Greg or onto Jeremy's kind of what they're good at. So what I'm probably going to do is spend my personal time rolling out your strategies if you give them to me, understanding them and offering tweaks before I come live. I'll do a quick kind of recap of it and we'll do some light rolling, but I'm going to roll in such a way and buy in a way and manage my bankroll in a way like I was at the casino. So I'm going to try and combine the idea of let's try strategies out as though I were at the casino and roll them the way that I would roll them. And I won't do that blind. I know that Sin City Living guys, they do that where they'll just open up an email kind of on screen live and basically roll it out without ever having practiced it. And to give like an off-the-cuff review, I want to do a more studied review. So that's the approach I'm going to start taking. Masilo is asking about, has anybody heard from George from CY? George from CY has a new channel called The Dice Mechanic. So his old channel he's turned off. There's reasons for that, which I'll let him explain. But he has opened up a new YouTube channel. It's called The Dice Mechanic. I'll actually put it here in chat for you so we don't lose reference to it. The Dice Mechanic is George from CY. So he's only got like 40 subscribers on that channel now. So go get subscribed there. He does the same thing. He's practicing every night. He's doing his breakdown. That's the same channel. It's just that he's on a new thing. So there we go. So that's kind of how that is. All right. Yeah, Greg, you're right. The problem with longer videos, you don't get the views. What you get from YouTube, though, is the people who do watch them, it's an hour of view time, which YouTube loves to see view time. But YouTube also loves to see people watching to the end of videos, not just the video itself. So you kind of run this, YouTube is a thing, right? There's a party that just wants to turn the camera on and go and talk. And there's part of it you got to play the game, right? Because if YouTube doesn't like your video or people don't like your videos, then YouTube will not put them in front of people. And then nobody sees them. So you got to play the game to some degree. And I hate doing that, but you kind of have to do the marketing thing to make it work out. So, all right, that's intro time. Let's go to the table here. I'm gonna switch up my screen a little bit. We're gonna go to this layout today. I'll turn the light on here too. I'm gonna take the throwing station out of it for today, and I'd like to get your feedback on how that works. I don't know how valuable the throwing station is because all you can see is my hands. You can't see the actual toss. So I'm gonna do this just, I'll still be tossing like I normally would, but I'm just going to take my hands out of the way, and that way the table shot and the landing zone shots can both be larger view. I think that's probably more valuable. All right. So the Waylon strategy is this, and he gave me two of them. Let me actually switch back over here real quick. I want to show you the two strategies that he gave us and what we're going to run. We're going to run. Let's see. It's going to be this one. The two Waylon strats that we're going to run are this. One is going to be the $25. I'm doing it at 25 because it's easier to count. The 4 and 10. If you lose, you up a unit. So you start with 25 each. You lose, you go to 50 each. You lose, you go to 75 each. You lose, you go to 100 each. It's essentially a martingale, but it's not a double up your money martingale. It's a slight martingale. But what he does is you parlay the win. So you martingale up. If you win one, you parlay it, and then you pull the whole thing back down to zero or back to your starting point. That's the way that the square pair guys rolled it out, which is actually kind of a cool way of doing it. The other way, which is the what you emailed me, Waylon, is a $25 4 and 10. You go up a unit after you lose. So same thing. Lose 25, go to 50, lose 50, go to 75. But then as you win, you go back down a unit. So from 50 you go to, or from 75 you go to 50 on each. Then 25 on each. So you work your way up and you work your way back. And the idea here is that you're making back whatever losses you've got through some form of martingale / increased betting / whatever. My gut instinct is that way one is going to work a little bit better. I did way two last night and I did make money. I made actually quite a bit of money with way two. But this requires, and I'll show you at the table, what it requires to win on way two is a extreme stroke of luck to make that work. I might add, and I probably will add, the $25 4 and 10 hard ways because I really like the flat bet on the 410 with an equal size bet on the hard way. It's a really good way to grab 7 units Actually, you grab 9 units when you do that. It's a good gambit. If you're going to play 4 and 10, you might as well play 4 and 10 all the way in. I will probably replace the losers on the hard ways with an easy 4-10 win. And I'm feeling naked without a don't. So I might see, maybe tomorrow, I may run this with the horseman leading us into it. We might see if the horseman will work coming in. So that's the thought here. Let's go back to the throwing table here. And I want to kind of highlight this. And I think this is a good thing to look at, which is what is the house edge and how does it work on this thing? So let's take a look at and I'm going to do them right here in front just because to keep them clear and obvious. The 4 and the 10 both, right? When you win those things, I got to get some white chips here. If you win those, you don't win $50, right? We've talked about this before. I don't do the vig on the wins, right? My casino, when I buy a bet, they take the buy. They take the buy on the win at my locals, right? So you're going to win essentially 50, but you got to pay the $2 every single time, okay? Which means if you were to lose, you really are collecting in your rack not 50. It feels like 50 because they give you 2 green chips for 2 white chips. They exchange it for you. But what you've actually got in your rack is 25, 30, 45, $48. It's not actually $50. Okay? So if the 7 comes and you were to lose both of these initial chips, you can't actually go back out there with what you had before. So even if you won 1 and lost 1, you'd be behind already by a couple of bucks. You'd be behind by that commission that you're paying every single time. And with the frequency of the 7, and we know this, the 7 comes 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and the 4 and the 10 come 3 times each, right? We know that's the possibilities here. So it's technically a 50-50, right? That's the Waylon strategy. The thought behind this whole strategy is that it's a 50-50 gambit, but it's not. There's a 50-50 win percentage. You will win equal amounts of times on the 4 or the 10 versus the 7. They're 6 and 6, but you're not going to win. They're going to take the 100% of your loss. You're going to only get, 95% of your win. And that's the house edge. So over time, if this strategy that you were to work with actual probabilities, you'd never win any money. Okay, straight up, you'd never win money. Now, what Waylon does with this thing is we do the increase, okay? And the one strategy that he plays, and I'm going to put him here and here, where you parlay your wins, this is the way you make money with the 4 and the 10. Because here you're going to, and I'm going to do it with straight greens, just to showcase this without the vig. If you do win and you parlay up your wins across both, or if you wanted to really stack on one, that's a way to do it as well. But if you parlayed your wins, and then the next win comes in, which pays you, let's say this $50 pays $100, and you were to pull back what you parlayed, now you're at $150. Now you've beat the house, even beat the house edge. You're still paying a commission on that. You're still going to pay $7 here, but this goes back to a video that actually Garrison put out, which is casino math versus actual math. Right? From a return on investment standpoint, this makes good sense. Right? Parlaying it up, taking the win and reducing back down to your initial starting point, that's a good way to do this because you're going to be okay. Now, if you lose multiple times, this gets a little bit squirrely. So let's take a look at what happens if you lose. That was a simple, 150 on your initial bet here. But what if you lose? What if you lose that? What if these go away? And I'm going to put the losses right here. And you go back out there, and now you got to increase your bet by 1 unit each for the losses. And you lose those too. And then at level 3, you've got 3 bets out there. And you lose that. And let's say at level 4, the same thing happens. You're going to have 4 bets out there. That's $100 on each of the numbers. And those lose. So you've been through 4 cycles where you've lost, which can happen. The 7's a bitch, right? The 7 is a tough number, and that can happen to you, okay? At level 5, let's say at level 5 you pop one, and you win at level 5, okay? Again, we got 4 levels of losers out here. At level 5 you win, and let's say that we're on the 4, and the 4 wins double, right? So that's going to be $250 you win on the 4, and you were to parlay that on both. So you're going to stack them both up by 125 each, which gives you 250 on each the 4 and the 10. And then you win on one of them, okay? That's going to win 500 bucks. Does it make up enough for what you lost? That's the question, because you got to take into account your previous losses plus your initial outlay. So your initial outlay, right, was all of this. What do we have here? 1, 2, 300, 450 bucks, and you won 500. Okay, this stack here that I have in the back, this is all what you won, right? This is all your initial bankroll. This is your losses, right? So you win 50 on that deal at level 6. At the earlier levels, you do really pretty good if you can win the 4 and 10 early on the parlay. If it goes a long time, the longer it goes with any martingale, the worse off you're going to be, and that's where the stick in the strategy is. Now, the second version of this is the up and down version. Let's go ahead and roll that one out or show you how that works. So you get the 4 and the 10, and let's say that we lose. Come on here. Let's say we lose those two. We go to level 2, and we lose, and we go to level 3. We'll just do it at level 3. There's 3 on each. Okay. Let's say that we win here. Okay. What you do on the win, you're going to get paid 3, 6, 2 for 1. Again, taking the vig out of it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to pull back 1 from each and rack that up as a win. Okay. So in that case, you've made it back. You've got your 150 in losses. You're already at a profit. There's your coverage. You're at a profit of 50. And you've got 2 more bets sitting out here. Let's say you win a second time. Right there. You'll collect that. And you'll pull back what you had stacked up. And you ladder yourself downwards. And again, on that third hit now, you've got 175. So you're in about the same spot that you would have been the other way. It works good at the lower levels. And what I mean by lower levels is not lower dollar amounts. It works good if you hit the 4 and 10 early. You get into level 6, 7, 8 of this thing, which I have been at in practicing sessions. It's almost impossible to recover it, because now you really have to beat it, right? If you were to lose, if the 7 were to come, on level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and level 5, now you got 6 chips out here, okay? And to work yourself back down to the opening bet, you have to win at level 6, at level 5, at level 4, 3, 2. You have to win 5 times versus the 7 to get out of this loss as you work your way back down the ladder. So it's okay if you do it in this section. You're going to be fine. If you go 5 levels deep into this thing, you got to win 5 times in a row in the 4. You're never going to do it. Now, I say never going to do it. I did it last night. So when I practiced it for a few hours, I was able to pull it off a couple times. That's not, in my opinion, a safe way to go, right? So the ladder back down to me will work most of the time. And I think most of these strategies, the 90% use case, the 90% case is going to be, you're going to hit it within 3 or 4 and you're going to be okay. It's the outlier, right? It's the outlier for sure that is the problem. The outlier where you get 7 sevens in a row, right? Or 7 or 8 sevens before a 4 or a 10, which can totally happen. That'll wipe you out. And that's where this thing, you never get it back if you're not doing the parlay thing. The parlay is the way to get out of it, I think. So that's the way I'm looking at it. Hopefully, Waylon, I'm walking back over here to my chat to make sure I haven't missed anything, but I think that characterizes what you're doing. On the ladder, if you get hung going back and forth, you do great. You're right about that. And I've done that. That's where I made the money last night, was going from, winning 5, losing 4, winning 5, losing 4, and you end up doing really well. It's the string that hurts you. A string of 7s before the 4 and 10 are what really gets you on this thing. And I did encounter that a few times. So, yeah, the parlay, right. You hit that thing a couple of times, you get the hell out. I mean, you're really stroking against luck right there if you can pull that thing off. So anyway, here it is. We're going to roll this out real quick. What I've got here is $1,000 in greens. Hopefully you can see that well enough on the camera. 1,000 in greens. We're going to bypass the pass line. We don't care about that at all. I am going to, for fun, do what I do, which is the laying of the back wall, just because I love it. And I got 5 cracks at that over here too. We're just gonna do it every day because it's fun and I like it. I'm actually gonna work this thing through too with pressing levels on the hits, because you will run into those cases where you hit 2 or 3 come out 7s on a person, and you want to be able to capitalize when it happens. That's purely a good luck kind of a move thing. So with that said, let's come out. Once we're out, we're going to go 4 and 10. I'm not going to work the come out rolls because I'm going for the 4. I'm going for the 7 on the back wall there. I want my 4 and 10 to be off. I don't want to impede any potential profits here by keeping these on. That may be a risk to the strategy. Waylon, you can chime in. That may not be a good thing. So let's see what happens here. We'll roll it out. And again, come out roll. I'm just going to wing them down there and hope for a 7. And of course, right, don't we just get a 4 on the come out roll? That's perfect. Point's going to be 4. In the interest of time, I'm going to turn these off. So we're not pulling them back. And I really want to focus on the strategy at hand, not so much the back wall gambit, but I think it's important to see potential here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to take $100 and I'm going to go 25-4, 25-10, and the hard 4 and the hard 10 for a quarter each. Okay, I'm doing that on purpose because if I'm going to attack the 4 and 10, I'm going to attack them all the way. If I do hit one of these at the level 1, they're going to pay 2 units. I'm going to lose 1 here, so I can replace this and rack a unit, or replace that and press up, either way. And maybe what we can do here is, today I'm going to roll just the ladder version of it, which is the one that Waylon emailed me. Tomorrow I'll roll it out with the parlay, and we'll see what's going to work. Yeah, you're probably right. I need to work every roll for it to work. However, because I'm doing the back wall lay, that's the reason why I turned it off. I'm just looking at it separately. So yeah, I've already blown a victory there, haven't I? But let's go ahead and roll this out. I am going to set, and I'm going to throw chopper style today. And here we go. Dice are out. That's going to be a 9. Nobody cares. There we go. Dice are out. That's going to be a 6 again. No impact to us. Okay, here we go. Dice are out. That's going to be another 9. And again, I'm setting as quickly as I can here, so not a great throw. And there's a 7. Okay, so we're going to lose the whole shebang there. All right, we'll keep our losses. I'm going to keep the losses here in the come, just to keep a visual. We're going to know our loss from here, but it's good just to see it and how that works out. So we're going to come off here. Waylon, I'm going to ignore your advice completely, and I'm just going to work. I'm just going to work the back wall here, because I'm trying something. Here we go. Dice are out. Hard 10. Oh my God, really? On both come out rolls, I burned myself. Okay, so maybe I should not do that, huh? Turn those off again. We're gonna go back out here. That's hysterical. I've already cost myself 200 and some bucks by not being alive on the come out roll. So that's okay. Lesson learned, right? Here we go. Let's hit one of them here. There's a 4, easy 4. And again, we're doing the ladder version. So what's going to happen here? We're going to lose our hard 4. This is going to pay us 2 units. We're going to go there. We're going to rack the 1. We're not stacking wins here, right? We're just working the ladder. We're always going to be trying to get back to 0, as I understand this strategy. We're not going to stack our wins. We're going to rack them. Again, this one here is a martingale. It's based on, I think, number of wins total. There's a 9. We're going to need at least 2 wins here to make this work. This one's more about showing you how it happens on a loss. There's a good one. There's a hard 10. That's perfect. So the hard 10 is going to work like this. It's going to pay once on the 10. That's going to be their point. It's also going to pay 7. I'm sorry, it pays 2 over here. So 2 units there, 7 units over there. Okay, we're going to rack all of that. Okay, I'm turning these off. I realize that that's not what you wanted, but I'm turning them off anyway. So if I were to, yeah, he told me, I saw your thing there. So let's look at our rack real quick. Let's just do a quick assessment of the rack. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shooters, or $800. There's 900. There is 1,000. That's my starting bankroll. I'm up 50. Okay, if you look at that, even with our one loss that we had, I'm up $50. So that's actually solid so far. Okay, had I been alive on the come out roll, we would have won a quarter here and another 7 over there. We would have been out of here with $300, and this is the shortest video of all time. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and come out again, and I'm going to leave them off. I'm going to 100% burn myself a 3rd time in a row. That's okay. That's okay. It's fun. There's a 6. 5, 1, 6. Okay, so it's going to be a point of 6. We'll lose that, and that's okay. We're going to come back. I think I owe myself another 30 from having the 10 the last time. I didn't pay the piper on that one. So we're not hitting our come out 7s. Fine. Here we go. All right. Dice are going to be out. There's an 8. No consequence. All right, here we go. Dice are set, and they're flying. Not a great roll. Another 8, though. I'm definitely toying around with my landing zone here. So I'm throwing the Apache right now, and I'm waffling between throwing it high and having it land close to the wall versus throwing it low and having it land in front and trickle in, which is what I'm doing right now. That's a 6. So I'm not getting anything consistent, but I am feeling like I'm under control at least. I'm not just winging them down there like a maniac. So that's why they're trickling in. Here we go. Another one. That's a 7. Is it 7? Yeah, it's 7. 4, 3, 7. So we got burn on that one. Let's bring it all down. It's our 2nd loss. Okay, here we go. We're going to come back up. And again, I'll bypass the come out roll. These will be on. Let's get that come out 7. We don't. We get an 8 instead. That rolled. That was an 8. We'll lose it. We'll put it back for next time. Okay, now we're at level 2. We lost. We're at level 2 there. Staying with the quarters over there on the other side. So we're going to ladder ourselves up here. Now we got to hope that we don't go on a string of 7s here, right? This is the time where you're looking for a quick get out of jail free card here. Let's go ahead and get one. There's a 5, 1, 6. Okay, dice are up. Big bounce on that one. 5, 4, 1, 5. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 9. Again, no help yet. We're getting close to where the 7 is looming. Right? 4 or 5 rolls in, you start thinking about it for sure. Let's hope that my throwing is good. Here we go. Dice are out. Another 6. Actually, pretty solid roll here, huh? All right, here we go. Dice are out. 314, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna lose our hard 4, which is, I'm okay with that. But we're gonna win 100 here for 50. So we win 100, and the way the strategy works, you pull down your other gambit, right? Your press up. I'm gonna replace that, so my net here is now 125. And I can actually replace this, and what I will do is replace that over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm back to square in my rack with a 1/4 profit. So that got me back to even from the previous loss, plus showing a little bit of profit. So I like to keep my rack. You know me, I'm kind of a maniac with the rack. I like to keep it pretty square and know where I am. So I'm even. I got a little bit of profit, and we're still going to roll here. Here we go, coming out. Another 6. Wow, we're rolling a lot of 6s here, looks like. I'd love to pop one more hard way here and basically call it a day. That'd be pretty cool if we can do that. There's a 5, a 4, 1, 5. Now they're starting to trickle in there nice. It was kind of cool yesterday. I hope you guys are enjoying the fact, and I'm gonna just toot my own horn here a little bit before I roll next. Greg yesterday did a little bit of dice control. That was kind of fun. If you're all watching Ken Knows Gambling, Ken did a little bit of dice control. That was a terrible throw yesterday. So are we turning the tides over here? Are we making this interesting enough that two of the biggest naysayers on the planet are trying some dice control? Or is Greg just messing with us all? I want to know what's going on there. I think what happened was, you know, I'm honest about this. I don't know that, you know, how much you can control in terms of what numbers are going to show up at the wall. But I am pretty confident in the fact that throwing them slow and low like I do limits the number of 7s that are possible. You saw that in the video yesterday. And once I did that, like 3 or 4 people popped up and said, hey, that actually made some sense. And I'm like, yeah, that's the whole point of the low energy toss. Kissing that wall is to reduce the number of combinations that can produce a random number. And that's the whole point. There's a 6, 4, 10s. We finally get a little bit of a payment here, which is, it's been a while. 2 units there, lose a unit here, pay it back. 1 to the rack. So yeah, the low energy toss is where it's at. Again, I'm not pretending that I'm imparting any kind of control ahead of the back wall. I think the dice are randomizing like crazy before the back wall, but if I can limit the number of possibilities off the wall, that's what I want. There's a set, or a 6, 2, 8. That's all you can really hope for the way that I play this thing. So here we go. Coming out one last time. We're going to be up against time here. Those are on. Just going to whip them down there. There's a 4. Of course, it's the 3rd time. Waylon, you're right. Those are off. That's 3 times on the come out. 2 4s and a 10 that if I was working, we would have been okay. So I will eat my words earlier. But again, my point here today is practicing both strategies separately. So yeah, if I was working the come out and I had a big string of come out 7s, this strategy would have gotten burned. That would have won. I think it's kind of an either way thing, right? That was a yo, by the way. They rolled twice on me there. Sorry about that. Here we go. Dice are out. They separated again. It's 2 yos in a row. What did the square pair guy say? See a horn, bet a field. Okay, here we are. Better. 415. Throws are a little more consistent today than they were yesterday. That's for sure. Yesterday, we're a little ugly. Today, we're a little bit more on point, at least with the action. There's a boxcars. Here we go. Let's get one of these things to pop. Give me a hard 4 here, huh? There's an easy 10. We'll take the easy 10. That's cool. And again, we lose the hard 10. but we get paid 2 there. We'll replace the hard 10 and rack another quarter. So we're up 75 bucks. Another yo, that's 3 yos on this roll. That one I threw way too hard. I'm not sure if you can see that on camera, but that one die just kicked out completely crazily. That was a little bit better. There's a 5. Here we go. Hard 4. Hard 4. Nope, it's a 9. It's about as far away from a hard 4 as you can get. Let's do it again. There's a 5. Oh, it's a 6. I thought it was a 7. That's a 4, 2, 6. I thought we were done there. Another good long roll here. We're not making any money on the inside, but again, that's not the play. Today's play is the home run on the 4 or the 10. There's another easy 10, 6-4 easy 10. Get paid 2, lose 1, replace it. We'll rack the 1 chip. Now we're up 100 bucks. Guaranteed 10% win. If I pull this money down, right? If I pull that money down, I'm guaranteed a 20% win. If I pull it all down right now, that would be 200 bucks in the profit section. That's 20% and you can go home. We're gonna roll this out to completion. So I get a 7 here just to see how we end up, but we're guaranteed 100 bucks. That's kind of cool. I'm not gonna chase that loss because we're not just gonna have a loss today, it looks like. Another 10, awesome. So again, on the 10s, on the easy ones, it's the same thing every time. We lose, we win there, we lose here. I'm gonna put it back and rack the quarter. Okay, just racking green all day long here. Now, Waylon, I'm not looking at the chat yet, but I'm gonna assume that what you're gonna say is that today, if I had run the parlay strategy, how much money would I have made with the parlay today? If I was parlaying these wins, we'd probably have 500 bucks today. I may actually go back and reapply these rolls to that strategy after the session today. But yeah, today would be a day where 100% if we were parlaying it, these rolls today are actually, oh, that was terrible. These rolls are really good in terms of getting us a parlayed win. That's really kind of cool. I don't think, oh, I hit 2 10s, not 4s. We're not actually getting the losses to chase, which is kind of cool. We haven't had that string of 7s that would cause us a loss to chase these things around. Maybe that's because I'm throwing it well. I don't know. Here we go. Give me a hard 10 or something here. Get a big payout and get out of here. Another 6. This is again, if you're an inside bettor, you're pressing to the speakers right about now and making some good money on me. Okay, here we go. Dice are out. Another 6. Okay, dice are up. Another 6. Good gravy. How many 6s is that? Anybody keeping track? That's got to be 5 of them on this roll. Right? Got to be 5 6s on this roll. Pretty good if you're an inside bettor. You are dinner's on John, I guess, right? Here we go. Dice are out. And there's a square pair, hard 8. Easy 4, point made. Okay, so the result of that, same as the 10. Get paid 2 units there, lose a unit here. You go back to that, rack our quarter. In fact, I'm gonna rack it all. We're gonna call that a video today. We made our point. We didn't 7 out, but I'm gonna call it just for time reasons. And our profit today, even though I didn't make enough money on the parlays or didn't play the parlays, it's still 250. Okay. I don't know about you, but I am 100% happy with 250. Okay. I'll get back to my chair here. Not a bad day, right? If we were parlaying, so there's two kind of things that you have to be aware of here. And I think this is an important point to make. One is today's strategy was the 4-7 ladder, right? It was designed to show you what happens if you have a bunch of sevens while you're betting the 4 and 10, how you stack them and come back down. That only happened to us once, and we hit it and made back our money. It wasn't a day where I threw a lot of sevens to where we could test that theory out, okay? Had I been doing the parlay version of the Waylon strategy, I would have made a lot more money. But today's strategy was the 4 and 10 ladder, and again, you're going to stick to your strategy for the most part, right? You can adjust based on table trend, but you're coming to the casino with a plan. That was my plan today. I stuck to my plan. And yeah, we missed out. I probably missed on at least $200 worth of wins had I been parlaying, probably more than that. I also made part of my strategy the back wall lay. Okay, and because I was laying the back wall, again, I keep trying to see if that's going to be a winner for me or not. Because I did that, I didn't work the 4 and 10. Okay, if I wasn't doing the back wall lay, I would have done what Waylon says and worked the back wall or worked the 4 and 10 while I was coming out. Well, it turns out I had 2 soft 4s and a hard 10 on the comeouts, which if you're doing the math, the soft numbers pay me 1/4 and the hard way pays me 7 plus 2, 9. So I blew 11 units of win by not working the come out roll today. Okay. And by my count, that's $275 more that we would have won had we worked the come out roll on the 4 and 10. Now, that is the strategy. I didn't play the strategy to the letter and it cost me money, but that's okay. Again, practice session here is trying something out. That's the whole point of it. Anyway, that was pretty fun. I like the strategy, especially when you're kind of up. That would be a cool thing to play for me if I was, if I had won a few $100, then I would go ahead and just go 4 and 10 and just try and make some home runs there. I don't know that I'm bringing my bankroll and jumping on the 4 and 10 right away. However, like Brian says, I'm proving that dice control works today. I did roll pretty good today. And what's funny is yesterday I rolled kind of the exact same, but I was getting a lot of 7s. Today, the difference is I practiced beforehand. I got up, I warmed up a little bit. I definitely was ready to throw today. I'm sorry, my eyes were killing me, but you get the glare. I was warmed up and ready to go today. Yesterday, I just kind of out of bed into the table here, so you can tell, right? And yeah, I lost mine in the back wall, but I would have won the come out 7. You're right, Waylon. Today wasn't great in terms of those two strategies playing together. Sometimes, and I've talked to Greg about this. Combining strategies doesn't always work. Like you think, the don't pass with odds is always a good play. Okay, so why isn't in 44 inside also a good play? Why not play them at the same time? Well, sometimes strategies that are opposing don't work together. And here's a good case of that, where that back wall lay makes a lot of sense to me, and the 4 and 10 makes a lot of sense to me. Together, they don't work. Right? And you saw that today. One opposed the other in such a way that it prevented me from winning a lot. And that sucks. So I think this proves the overall point, right? Which is have a strategy and stick to it. Hybrid play can win, but you've got to be aware of it and be careful with it. So yeah, good lesson learned today. Maybe tomorrow when I roll this out, I won't do the back wall lay. I'll just do the parlay, and we'll play the same strategy tomorrow with the parlay, and we'll see how much money we can make that way. I'll work them all the time, and we'll see how that works. But Waylon, I appreciate you putting this strategy to me over email. I'm really stoked that you've got everybody kind of running it, which is great. You got Jacob and you got me and Ken, and I know that Greg's run it, and I think somebody else ran it. I think a Square Pair guys ran it, and somebody else did. So it's pretty cool. Definitely cool that you're getting it out there. I think we should get Waylon shirts. And Brian, you're right. I'm going to run this on WinCraps. I'm going to run both on WinCraps and see. I'm going to set it up, and maybe tomorrow morning what I'll do is I'll show you the results of those rolls of running it with the straight parlay and with the straight ladder version of it. I'll code those up today, and we'll see how that works. So that'll be interesting to see actually how it goes over time. So all right, with that said, I got nothing else for you. So thanks again all for coming. Appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share the video. Let's keep growing this channel up. And I'll see you in the morning for the Waylon 410 parlay version. See you tomorrow.